Hello everyone, welcome to Ipmat by LPT, a channel dedicated to the preparation of IPM exams. We bought this series 2 weeks ago, and every Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday 12 o'clock we bring sessions for vocabulary, for grammar and for verbal ability. In today's session we are going to discuss some words with financial fraud. As you can see in the picture, different scammers in India who have done some other kind of financial fraud. So let's understand some words related to financial scams in India. Okay. So the first word is white collar crime. So white collar, blue collar jobs, as you might have come across these two terms. So white collar jobs are those jobs which are executive jobs, which are the jobs which people do by sitting in an office, whereas blue collar jobs are jobs which are done by laborers, which require a lot of hard work, sweating it out on ground, right? So here, white collar crime are those crime which are financially motivated and usually do not involve any violence, right? So those white collar crime or white collar criminals are those criminals who are doing cushy jobs, who are situated or established in good companies, possibly handling very important profiles, but just because of their greed and with some chicanery, they do these activities or commit these crimes which are called white collar crime, right? So white collar crime is a crime which is committed by a person of respectability and high social status, right? So it's not a crime which is committed by somebody who is from middle class or maybe somebody from lower class who is hard-earned criminal or who is usually seen or inclined towards criminal activities, but rather somebody who is respectable, holds very high position, does a very good job, but involves in these criminal activities, right? So Harshad Mehta, we saw the picture of Harshad Mehta or Neelam Mehta here. So these are the financial scammers, or Vijay Mallya maybe. So here these people have good fortunes, they belong to very well-to-do class. Similarly, they are in a position which afford them all the luxuries and comfort of life. Nonetheless, they are involved in these criminal activities. So they are called white collar criminals. Okay, so that's the first word for today. Another word related to these fraud and related to these financial scams is embezzlement. Whenever a money is given to you, amount of money is given to you as a trust, because you hold an office or you hold a position where you are entrusted with the responsibility of handling money. If you are a cashier in a bank, so you are given the responsibility of handling cash. Or let's say if you are a person in an institution, in academic institution who collects the fees of student, so you are the person who handles cash. And you siphon off some money from that cash for your own purpose. That act is known as embezzlement. It is also done by government officers when they are given some funds for charitable activities, for government activities or for development activities. They take up certain amount and very modicum amount is actually spent on these development activities, right? So when they embezzle the money from government's fund, that means the fund which is allocated for development activities in their department, they end up using it for themselves. That is embezzlement. हिंदी में अगर मैं आपको बताऊं तो अमानत में खयानत करना, एक आपको अमाउंट, एक ट्रस्ट, एक पर्टिकुलर फंड आपको दिया गया था, आप उसके ट्रस्टी थे और आपने उसी में जो है वो embezzlement किया. So embezzlement is basically उस फंड को मिसयूज करना जो आपको दिया गया है for other purposes. ठीक है? So usually who are a cashier in a bank, those people who handle money, managers, anyone who has access to accounts, anyone who has access to money can do embezzlement, right? I hope you understand the meaning of this word, embezzlement. Okay? So white collar crime, embezzlement. Look at the statements. Her lawyer declined to comment about the embezzlement charges she faces, right? She did not comment on the charges she faced about the embezzlement. He is accused of tax evasion, embezzlement and fraud. So usually the word comes with these words: fraud, scams, financial scams. Now, misappropriation, right? So misappropriate the fund, misappropriate the money. That also sounds like opposite of appropriate? That means inappropriate? No, but appropriate ka opposite will be inappropriate. Misappropriation is basically when you again misuse the money that is given to you, right? So the money or any trust or any fund or any corpus which is given to you to handle, when you take out the money for your own benefit or other people's benefit, not for the very purpose that money is for, you misappropriate the fund or you misappropriate the money, right? Look at, to steal something that you have been trusted to take care of and use it for your own good. So that is what is misappropriate. Same as embezzlement. So embezzlement and misappropriation will be exactly same. Okay, he is accused of misappropriating $30,000 to pay off gambling debts. So he was given this amount, but he paid his gambling debt out of the amount that he was given, right? So that is misappropriation of the fund. The misappropriating funds, money, property, anything which involves money, which involves the funds can be misappropriated. So both words are same, embezzlement and misappropriation of funds. Now look at this word, it sounds very interesting, hoodwink. So hoodwink ऐसा लगता है कि कुछ ऐसा funny सा word है. It could mean to do something which is which involves a little shararat or something, but actually it means to do something, to trick someone, to do some hanky panky, to do some monkey business in order to cheat someone, in order to trick someone. ठीक है, जैसे बैंक से कई बार ऐसा होता है कि साइन कराने आपको बोलते हैं कि आपका फॉर्म हम भर देते हैं और वो इस तरह से उनके चेक से पैसे निकाल देते हैं. ठीक है, आपको ऐसा बोला जाता है कि अगर आपको अभी एक OTP आएगा जिसमें आपका क्रेडिट कार्ड का मे बी आपका जो है पिन सेट हो जाएगा, बट एक्चुअली वो फेक होते हैं और आपके क्रेडिट कार्ड से वो पैसा निकाल लेते हैं. सो दे यूजुअली hoodwink you, right? So these people, these scammers, with all the chicanery, with all their trickery, they hoodwink people, gullible people, those people who are not very learned, those people who are not very worldly wise. They are more inclined to be deceived by these people. So hoodwink is to cheat someone, to trick someone. Okay? So she has been hoodwinked into buying a worthless necklace. So she possibly was, given this necklace as something which is very precious or something which is made of gold or silver and which is going to be worth a lot, but she was hoodwinked. That means she was cheated by those scammers who passed off this necklace as something which is worthy, but it turned out to be worthless, right? So hoodwink is to cheat karna kisi ko. I was hoodwinked by some hooligans. So I feel as if I have been hoodwinked. ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे cheat किया गया है. ठीक है? Staff felt as they had been hoodwinked when they discovered the new management's plan. तो उनको ऐसा लगा जब नए management का plan उनको पता चला तो उनको लगा कि उनको cheat किया गया है. So don't reserve this word to be used only when you are actually cheated by someone. But ऐसा आपको लगता है कि you have been betrayed, you expected something else, but something just the opposite happened to you, then also in those contexts as well you can use that I feel I have been hoodwinked, right? So I trusted her to be my confidant, I shared my innermost feelings with her, but I think I have been hoodwinked, right? So that means I have been tricked. Okay? So hoodwink, cheat someone, but also in these contexts you can use it for in any context where you feel you are cheated. Okay? So first word was white collar criminals, white collar crime, those crimes which are committed by people who are who hold very high position, whose stature is very high in their organization or maybe in society, who are not supposed to commit these crimes but may end up committing these crimes. So that is white collar criminal. Second word was embezzlement. किसी के money में, trust में, corpus में, अपने benefit के लिए, अपने उसके लिए पैसा निकाल लेना. That is same as misappropriation, misappropriate the fund. And third is hoodwinked. Collude basically is a word when two people or group of people come together with the intention of cheating other people or with the intention of committing a crime. जब वो sabotage करते हैं, conspire करते हैं, साथ में आते हैं, अपने brain को इस तरह से brainstorm करते हैं कि वो एक तरह का एक plan बना पाए जिससे वो एक प्लान को एग्जीक्यूट कर पाएं, एक सिनिस्टर प्लान को एग्जीक्यूट कर पाएं. सो दैट इज कल्यूड, राइट. सो जब हम बोलते हैं कि दोनों की मिली भगत है, हिंदी में हम अक्सर बोलते हैं कि दोनों अपराधी जो है मिली भगत से ऐसा हुआ. सो हर्षद मेहता ने जो ये किया था वो बैंक के ऑफिसर्स की मिली भगत से किया था. ठीक है. सो पीएनबी में जो घोटाला हुआ था, दैट हैपेंड ओनली बिकॉज द बैंक ऑफिसर वर आल्सो इन्वॉल्व. सो collusion. So there was a collusion between the conspirator as well as the people who were there in the bank, right? So collusion is a noun form, collude is the verb. They colluded with the bank officers. That's how the whole scam took place. To work together secretly or illegally in order to trick others. ठीक है, दूसरे लोगों को ट्रिक करना ताकि आप उनसे पैसा निकाल सके किसी भी अपराध के लिए. Collude with someone in something, in doing something. So several people had colluded in the murder, right? So a lot of people were involved in executing the murder. Collude with somebody to do something. They colluded with terrorists to overthrow the government, right? So the recent incident that happened in Nepal. So a lot of people believe that the Gen Z who actually spearheaded the entire uprising in Nepal, they colluded with those people who were arsonists or who were, they actually did not have good intentions to overthrow the government. They did it only to have their own vested interests met, right? So collusion. So उनके साथ मिलना. Next देखिए, the president accused his opponents of colluding with foreigners. ठीक है, अभी आपने सुना होगा, there's one person who has been on hunger strike. He has been demanding the full statehood for Ladakh, right? Leh Ladakh. So ऐसा बोला जा रहा है कि he has colluded with some foreign forces like China. ठीक है, and that is why this whole agitation is happening in Ladakh for statehood as well as for the inclusion of 6th schedule of Indian Constitution. ठीक है. So collusion मिली भगत से, ऐसा लगता है कि दो लोग नेक्सस बना रहे हैं एक सिनिस्टर प्लान को एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए. ठीक है. तो जैसे पुलिस is in collusion with bookies, right? So bookies जो सट्टा खिलाते हैं, so police is in collusion with them. So basically जब आप ऐसा बोलते हैं तो इसका मतलब ये है कि दोनों की मिली भगत है जिसकी वजह से ये चीज़ पूरी हो रही है. ठीक है. रिगिंग. सो बेसिकली जब रिगिंग होती है, जैसे कई बार ईवीएम रिगिंग के आपने सुना होगा कि ईवीएम की रिगिंग हो रही है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस आर नॉट हैपनिंग. सो जब भी आपको ये लगता है कि कोई चीज़ में कुछ ना कुछ ट्रिक हुआ है, कुछ डिसऑनेस्ट तरीके से उसको स्केल को रिगिंग किया जाता है. कई बार जो है वो जो तराजू होता है उसमें रिगिंग होती है जिसकी वजह से चीज़ें कम तुलती हैं. ठीक है, आपको लगता है कि 1 किलो है, बट एक्चुअली वो जब आप देखते हैं कहीं और मेजर करवाते हैं तो वो 1 kg नहीं होता है. सो दैट इज बिकॉज द स्केल हैज़ बीन रिग्ड, राइट. सिमिलरली ईवीएम हैज़ बीन रिग्ड. अगर कोई ऐसा एक्यूज करता है तो उसका मतलब है सिंपल कि ईवीएम को इस तरह से किया जा रहा है कि एक पर्टिकुलर पार्टी के लिए ही वोट जा रहा है. ठीक है. सो सिस्टम हैज़ बीन रिग्ड इन अ डिसऑनेस्ट वे, इन अ डिसेप्टिव वे, सो दैट सर्टन आउटकम इज इंश्योर्ड, right? Certain outcome in favor of one person, one party, or any specific organization. So that is what is rigging. The system has been rigged. So the act of influencing something in a dishonest way in order to get the result that you want. ठीक है. So कई बार जैसे गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेने के लिए बिड होती है. ठीक है. सो बिड जब होती है तो ओपनली सभी पार्टीज़ को, प्राइवेट पार्टीज़ को बोला जाता है कि आप अपनी बिड दें, और जिसकी भी बिड सबसे कम होगी, कंपैटिटिव होगी, और जो भी वर्दी होगा उसको वो मिलेगा. ठीक है. बट कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या करते हैं, बिड रिगिंग करते हैं, राइट. इस तरह से उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की इनसाइड इन्फॉर्मेशन किसी के थ्रू लेके वो उस सिस्टम को रिग करते हैं और एक पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को उसका फ़ायदा मिल जाता है और उनको गवर्नमेंट के सारे टेंडर मिल जाते हैं. सो दैट इज़ बिड रिगिंग. ठीक है. सो रिगिंग इज़ बेसिकली जैसे शेयर रिगिंग होती है, शेयर प्राइसेस रिगिंग होती है. कई कंपनी, जैसे आपने कुछ समय पहले सुना होगा, देयर वाज अ कंपनी जो अडानी कंपनी के शेयर्स जो हैं वो इस तरह से रिग कर रहे थे कि उसकी वजह से लगातार जो है वो उनके प्राइसेस हाई हो रहे थे और कुछ लोग कंटिन्यूअसली प्रॉफिट मेकिंग कर रहे थे. सो बिकॉज दे रिग्ड द सिस्टम. ठीक है. सो दे रिग्ड द प्राइसेस इन अ वे कि एक पॉइंट पे ऊपर लेके जाते थे, वहाँ प्रॉफिट बुकिंग आती थी, एंड सडनली द प्राइस प्लमेटेड. ठीक है. सो दैट इज शेयर मार्केट रिगिंग. ठीक है. एंड दैट इज एक्चुअली अ फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड, राइट. So rigging is basically doing anything in a dishonest way. मैंने कई आपको एग्जाम्पल दिए, जैसे तराजू जो स्केल होता है उसको रिग किया जाता है, सिस्टम को रिग किया जाता है, ईवीएम रिग हो सकती है, कोई भी ऐसी चीज सिस्टम जिसको आप इस तरह से फिक्स करते हैं कि वो आपके फायदे का आउटकम इंश्योर कर दे. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज रिगिंग. द होल सिस्टम हैज बीन रिग्ड. ठीक है. So these are the words which we did for financial fraud. I hope you will be able to relate these words whenever you hear a story or you read a story or a news item or anything related to financial fraud. You will keep encountering these words, and now they are going to make sense because you know the meaning, and you will also be able to understand the words in the context now when they appear in your exam, in RC, or in any other set of questions. Okay? I'll continue with the words, more words related to financial fraud. So I'm going to end it today with these many words only, because bit by bit we have to do these words so that they are absorbable for you and they don't overwhelm you with, you know, so much academic load. So there may be a lot to take in for you. So this many words, you just revise these words until we meet again for the next class. We'll continue with the theme words for financial fraud. Okay? So see you on Thursday. Thank you very much for watching.